everybody, and welcome to Live. Oh my god, I am so blasted out by this light. Let me just fix that for you right real quick. I am here, the ghost of Jules Gill. Ooh, ready to haunt you. I love the fact that every time anyone does an impersonation of a ghost, they take their voice up a fair few octaves here. Let's try and knock this down a bit, because I am shiny, my guys, but I ain't that shiny. That's a good middle ground there. I love the fact that all day it's been overcast, and the moment that I start streaming, it goes into absolute overdrive with the sun, so I just get even more washed out than usual. Hello everyone, and welcome to Live and Let's Dice live here on a Wednesday afternoon. My name is Jules Gill, and you join me here at the head of what will hopefully be a fantastic stream, but I already know it will be because of the fact you are here with me, and we are painting some Blood Bowl trolls, and I feel like I've been stuck in a bit of a loop recently with that, because the last couple of streams, in fact, have been on the subject of painting these bloody bastard trolls, but at the same time, we are now approaching completion. I do feel like we are actually seeing the end of the tunnel right now, and it does highlight maybe the painting for just 2 hours every other week, because of the fact that my schedule's been so messed up recently, maybe isn't the best way to get models off the production line very quickly, but still, I feel like we're going to do it today, and I have made some small progress in between the two last streams that I've done, which is great. But before we begin, I just want to say hello to everyone who's joining me here today. If you're new to the channel, if you've been around the block a fair few times, which I know some of the people in the chat already have, then it's just lovely to see you. I love being able to do these streams and actually take some time away to just chill with amazing people, paint some fun stuff, and just have a nice relaxing end to the mid-week hump day, I guess you call it, don't you? But yeah, we'll get right on that. Hopefully you can all hear me. Hopefully you can all see me. That's always a good start to it. But let's say hello to the lovely people that are in the chat right now, such as Hassan, who's in there. Murphy's in the chat. Pixie says, good evening, gorgeous humans. That is a very sweet way to start the day. TJ, the absolute legend, is in the chat. Nitro, who hasn't been around here for a while, they say, but I'm glad that you are still here, and also right here as well, my friend. And also, we've got Ruford60. Ray. Hey, Ray. I can never. This is the thing. I've seen people get caught out when they do donations and get them to read like stupid names or horrible slurs. Let's just say what it is. And I think that I'm actually too dyslexic to be able to do that properly, because I can barely read anyone's name to begin with, and because of the fact that I need glasses and barely wear my contact lenses. I'm like, it's been what? What's that? Oh, I've gone back to the surface of the sun as well, it seems, by doing this. Hello, it's me, God. It's actually got even brighter, just me doing that. Hello. Look at it. How bright can we actually get it? Oh, this actually hurt my eyes doing that. Right, hold on, one more time. Hello, it's me. I tell you what I look like. Hold on. Witness me, Immortan Joe. Witness me. I tell you what, I'm easily pleased, aren't I? Just a man playing around with the sun. Fantastic. I tell you what, I was born in a couple hundred years ago, pissing around with sundials. I'd have had a great time. What time is it? Who knows? He's sticking his face into the sundial again. He's blinded himself. Poked his own eye out on the sundial. Stupid. I'm making myself laugh. Barely anyone else is. The comedy levels, they're just so low here. They're just so low, but at least, if you're a fan of my work, right, it's just getting brighter and brighter and brighter. You cannot stop this. And people would have thought by now that I would have maybe turned the exposure on the webcam to automatic so it would be dealing with this for me. But no, so we're keeping it like this. This is it now. Witness the ghostly visage of Jules Gill. Oh, Sean Schultz. Oh, because I don't have my lights here. You get the personal thank you in the microphone. When I'm over there, you get the lights. Here you get the Sean Schultz. This is a personal thank you. Thank you for being a Loud Tip Jar member for 9 months. Are you a sun-cooked egg? Yes. Hello, Octavia. How are you going on? So, in terms of updates, let's do some quick stuff here. Some quick math, Scott Steiner style. I've been a very busy boy. Busy little egg. Been cracking my shell all over the place. Don't know where that metaphor was going. It escaped me. Gamescom 2024 is just around the corner. If you don't know what that is, it is a big gaming event that's in Germany, happens every year. And basically now that E3 is gone, I would argue that alongside PAX, it's pretty much the biggest gaming event going, at least the biggest in Europe. So we're going, part of the FGS team, Future Games Show. We're going out there to do a lot of fun stuff. Not only am I going to be hosting the after show expansion pack like I have been doing these past couple of showcases, so I'll be bringing dev interviews, updates, and also announce trailers and some release stuff updates as well. So it's basically like, think of the games, is it Game Award, Game Show Live, whatever it is. It's basically like that, but we do it with more of a focus on indie games and stuff like that. Not only will we be doing that, but we're actually going out there to film dev interviews and such, and extra special content that is going to be put up into 2 days of extra coverage for Gamescom. So if you're not going to it yourself but want to know more about upcoming games, make sure you check out the FGS YouTube channel, because I will be there with my friend Nathan and all of the rest of the FGS production team, and we're going to be putting out content that we've shot in the day that evening. I'm going to be a very busy boy, and I tell you this, and my friends, all I've been doing for the last couple of weeks, and trust me, it's taken a lot of my mental energy, is sending emails back and forth, organising sponsorships, organising the segments, organising this thing. And do you know how frustrating it is to send out, say, like 30 or 40 emails? Oh, nice. Thank you, Ray, for just donating. You're absolute legend. Let's go. You paint on, mate. All help. Thank you very much. Big bless, big bless, big bless. Really appreciate that. Even though it's like I send out 30 emails and then I get 30 questions back. They're all like 1 or 2 sentences, like yes, no, let's meet here, let's move this time around. And then you send all them back, and then they come back with 4 more, and then you go, da, 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 da. Just a constant back and forth, back and forth. But luckily, I now, as of yesterday, have cemented in my last one, so we're done now. So I am good to go for Gamescom, and I can now elevate to another plane of existence as the sun comes out one more time. Hello, it's me, the creepy egg boy. Hello, can I eat some of your used shells? Delicious. Delicious, and they sustain me. These are actually my brethren. I don't know, I feel like I took that character of a weird peasant egg sorcerer, and I took it places that it probably didn't start at, you know? We started at person who eats eggshells, potentially like a haggard old crone sort of style of a man. But then we went to that he's eating his own family as eggs, and there was a sinister turn to it, and I don't think that I liked where I took that character, so let's just pull it back. He's a friendly egg eater, right? He's not eating the remains of his children or family. Not doing that. Okay, we're not doing that. So whenever I do this, hello, it's me, the egg eater. Right, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, right? I've had enough of these characters going off the rails and causing shenanigans. No. Not today. Not today. The silly factor, just for people watching, is going to be at an all-time low. Alright? I'm putting a clamp, a hefty clamp, and then a set of weighted books on top of the concept of silly. Alright? Time to get serious. Alright? I feel like we've all had enough fun today. Alright? Glad that we can all agree on that. Hello there, Rob. Oh, sorry. Hello there, Rob. How's it going, my friend? Good to see you, good to see you. Gamescom is always such a sardine in a tin. Oh, I know, Octavia. Are you going? Are you going to it? Because it would be quite nice if anyone's going who is of the European persuasion who is going. It would be quite fun to actually meet up with people that are there. It'll be quite fun. Hey, Justin. How's it going? It is very, very hot, and I have a flashback to last year's event that we went to, when there was a woman in a full, like, furry outfit, and, like, you know, to each their own. She wants to dress like that, that's absolutely fine. I mean, I did think to myself, oh, maybe I would have looked out of the window, or maybe at the little thermometer, old school mercury thermometer, and noticed that it's shooting up through and splashing onto the ceiling because it's that hot. I believe it was 35 degrees that we were there last time. and in a full furry outfit, even with fans that she built into the mask. She was sweating so much that it was actually matting the fur on the outside of the suit. And she was like, we had a little chat about it, because she was like, put the suit on and did some like vox pop stuff. I'm pretty sure she was like, I'm not wearing anything underneath this because of the fact I knew it was going to be hot. But that also means that I can't take it off. And I was like, that's a lose-lose situation if I've ever heard one. Just what the furry community, and I'm clearly going to speak for them as a person who knows everything there is to know about the furry community. They should just develop the aspect of, well, the animals. Do you need to have a full fur suit? Why can't you just have a pair of like furry trousers, or admittedly a furry pair of shorts? You can adapt to the weather. Like surely, like you've got hairy legs, hairy arms. I feel like they're making life a bit more difficult than they need to be. Am I overthinking this? Am I in the wrong? Let me know. I want to be educated on this. Do we have any furries in the group? Let's find out. Also, I just saw a little message pop up from Pixie Wolf. Gifted a Live and Let Stars membership. Thank you very much. Oh, it's Jenkle the Red. Jenkle the Red. Jenkle the Red. Who's a moderator and is now a member. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I was thinking about it, but it depends on my health. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. And I'm assuming that that's going to be exacerbated if it is an incredibly hot situation where everyone's sweated, pushing together. Like, I know for a fact that I will probably leave Gamescom with bloody COVID, because the amount of people, the amount of like hustle and bustling that I'm going to be doing, one rogue cough is all it takes. Basically been isolating beforehand to make sure I don't catch anything to go out there with. I'm not looking forward to flying though. Bloody hate flying. However, on some more positive news, you know, I was speaking before last week, or maybe it was the week before, I can't remember if I missed last week's stream. No, I did Speed Freaks, but I don't think I spoke about it. I've been doing sort of like a, weight management is probably how to best describe it. And I've now lost a stone, so I'm pretty happy about that. Like, I've been exercising, hitting the gym, running every day, just doing that and eating better, and I have found it to be quite useful for me. Oh, get out of town. Kerry's just messaged me. We have this thing called Shoppocalypse, which is basically like where we update each other on like places that are closing around, either on the high street or locally. And it turns out that the pub that's down the road from us is closing down. Shoppocalypse. R.I.P. See you later. Right, what we got here? Good. Came up with nothing in the interactive series for next week. But then again, I missed the anything I suggest with relevant choice. Hey, man. Just, this is the thing. The deep cut stuff is hard to come up with for me. I feel sorry for anyone who has to try and think of it on that. So I'm just going to put this down here. I'm just going to crank on a fan because it's just suddenly decided to get as warm as balls over here. So apologies if you're going to be now hearing a constant humming noise. Oh, actually, is that going to be really... Wow, I've now gone into the darkness. Hello. Welcome to my cave. Do you have any eggs I could eat? I don't think I can do this to you, can I, gang? I think that fan is a bit too much. You let me know. Let me know if it's too annoying, and I'll turn it off. But what I will do is I'm just going to switch to the painting camera. We'll come back to this later, and it'll be a nice surprise. There we go. Look at that. Nicely lit. Is that working? Yeah, that is working. Right then, gang. Let's take a little look at what we're working with now. So this is where we've got to on... Are you going to focus up? On Blubbertrul. He's a nice little Blubbertrul. He's a good old boy. We like him a lot. He's looking okay. So the last thing... Don't hear anything. Okay, that's actually good. So the last things that we saw... What I've done is I've repainted his glove to be black because I felt like the brown glove didn't work that well. I've painted a yellow helmet onto his knee pad because that is the same colour that my friend Joe and Sam have as their human team, and I'm taking it to their tournament, so I figured that it was quite funny. Then I've done the bones as well on here. So I've like shaded them, done all of the dark recess shading on that. I painted his little eyeball, his little eye, and I've done his teeth, but I haven't done his tongue, so we got to do that. I've painted the ball that the goblin's carrying, and I can't even remember if the last time, did we even have the goblins painted? I think I've painted both of the goblins since then. So yeah, very nice shoe, but very painful. So what we've got left to do, we've got to do the scales on the back of this guy here. Sorry, hold on, let me, I don't know why, but it's so blown out and overexposed once more. Hold on. There we go, that's slightly better. I tell you what, slight bit of thing just messes with this thing, doesn't it? Right, that's a bit better. So now you can actually see a bit more of the detail on that. So we've done the goblin. The goblin I don't think was done the last time that we did the painting. So he's all painted up. He's painted the ball, painted the glove, little dark, little red logo has been painted as well on that. Is it going to focus up? Yeah, there it is. Done the bones. So what we've got to do now is we've got to focus on his spiny scales on the back there. So what I want to do is with this one, as you can see here, there's like, they're darker, but then they've all been highlighted to look a bit more, to give it a bit more depth. You can probably see there on the blue one that's been done. So what we're going to do is the same process, but to the red one. Then I've got to paint the tongues on both of them. I've got to go over the metals and actually start highlighting them up. I've got to do the leather belt and strap on the goblin on the blue one. And then, believe it or not, friends, that's pretty much it. It'll be basing and then painting a little bit of like just tidying up over the skin if there's any areas that need touching up. Like you might be able to see here where my fingernail is, that there's like a little splodge that's come over. I want to just tidy stuff up like that, you know, make it a little bit nicer. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with how things are going with this guy here. And I'm pretty happy with how it's all worked out there. Hold on, why is the music stopped? There it is, starting up again. Cool, right. Oh, thank you, heroes. I really appreciate that, mate. So, we've just got to pick something to start with, and we're going to start with the scales. I feel like that is a big enough job, so we'll focus on that for a bit. So let's, everyone, have a big sip of coffee. Delicious. Lifeblood. Yummy. And we are now going to be... That's the drum roll. Looking for what paints we need. So, boring part first. You may be able to see in... Hold on, let me just get this bloody wire out of the way. Oh god, I've pulled the entire thing over, haven't I? Right, that should be better. Right, so in between all of these scales, I've got to paint them black, or a thinned down black wash, just going in along the lines there, because that'll add even more depth to the model overall. So let's do that first. So we're going to get some Abaddon Black, which should be here. I've actually laid out all the paints that I'll need for once, rather than trying to actually just go behind me and squirrel away. And then we can start by thinning down that black until it's almost like a wash. And then we can just sort of drag it around through there. We don't need to be too neat with this, because if we make any mistakes, it'll be thin enough that it will either blend into the red, or we can just go over with the red as a base colour, which I believe is Screamer pink with a Caribou crimson wash over it. Right. You guys let me know if it's too dark or not in focus. To be honest, I can't do much about the focus thing, and because of the way that this camera, it's got like a weird weight thing on it to stop it from falling off of the light that I've got here. But I do find that the weight gets immediately in the way of where I want to paint. But we'll give it a try. We'll work with it. But if let me know in the chat if there's anything that I can do to make it look a bit nicer in terms of the light or sound or whatever. And then, while I'm doing that, I'll put the question out there. How's everyone else's weeks going? Everyone's having a nice time so far? It's funny, isn't it? Just like little things like this, they seem like it would be a step that you could easily skip. But in doing this, it immediately adds a ton of depth to the model and makes these scales stand out even more, which is nice. And the best part is that when it dries, it won't be like an overpowering black in there. It will just be that suggestion that's going to make the scales pop even more when we add lighter colours onto them. And it's one of those steps where, you know, a couple of years ago I would not have even bloody bothered doing, because, you know, who even looks at models in that amount of detail unless you're submitting them for a competition or something like that. But because I want this to be like something that I look back on and think that was the best of my ability that I could have done, I want to put the hours into it, you know, like, and be proud that I've done it. Because at the end of the day, you don't actually paint these types of models for anyone but yourself. You could enter them in a competition and people can tell you that it's great, but at the end of the day, you know what you're proud of, what you've enjoyed working on the most. And there are actually models in my collection that I've painted in a fraction of the time that I've done these, that I'm actually more proud of because I either managed to get them done under extreme time constraints, or because I learnt a new skill as I was doing it, or because it was one of those like plateau moments that I pushed through just to be like, oh, well, you know what? Like, I didn't think I could do that. And I'll tell you what, like, concepts like slap chop and any sort of like zenithal highlight stage have really, really helped me out. Because, you know, when we are playing every single week on the channel, getting models on the table quickly is really what it's about. And if they can look good at the same time, even better. I'm actually going to pop on the old painting handle. Alright, okay. Okay, that's looking alright so far. I should be having a switch up to my my filming setup pretty soon as well. Got a new camera coming from work, which is going to mean that I can move some of the webcams around, because as much as this is the webcam that we use now is called a Ben IQS1, I think, and it's fine, like the resolution is good, but I have been finding that the autofocus leaves something to be desired, and the it's got like a really weird thing that if you take a item too close to it, it will like switch the color I think it's because it switches over to a different lens or a different like brain inside it, and it doesn't deal with colors up close very well. So I'll be moving back, weirdly enough, to the, I think it's the Logitech C920, is that the one? Basically, like, I got it in 2016 and it's still regarded as being one of the best webcams going. So that's going to go back over here on the painting table, because I just find that its depth of color is nice, it's very easy to use, and also it's got some pretty nice autofocus. And then I'm going to be using this Sony Vlog V1 camera as my main filming camera, and the Osmo Pocket 3 as our new Warhammer content camera, which, if you've not seen, is this amazing device that is super small and yet captures in 4K, has an auto-stabilizing gimbal built into it, and it just syncs up and pairs with every piece of tech that you could possibly want, which is muy bueno. Right, okay, so we've got... It's not just going straight into the cracks, as it were. Got to try and catch a few of these scales at the lowest parts with a dab of black, because it's thinned down enough that it will dry as like a sort of semi-translucent layer. Just make those scales real nice, baby. I am glad that I've already done this stage on the blue troll, let me tell you that much. Yeah, just poke it into his belly button a bit as well. So many scales around him. It's like that final step. Do you remember when you were at school and you were like, you would go over the outlines of like a cartoon that you've drawn, just to really emphasize certain bits, and that would be the longest, most painstaking thing. Don't think I need to do those bits by his chest, because they're actually not scales, they're just like crusty abs. Best type of abs. So that bit's done there. Go around, let's have a quick look. Probably just line up a few of them a bit more. But yeah, it's like, it's weird. I don't think that the webcam is capturing it, but it is like a huge difference already for me to see it. Just realised that the video looks a bit dark here again. Let me just see if this will do anything to it. Oh, blimey! You do not want to play ball with me today, do you? Auto exposure. That's fine. Yep, I got those type of crusty abs, man. Those crabby abs. Okay, right. Let's see then. Okay, just little dabs here and there. Also trying desperately to not get it onto like the leathers and the belts that I've already finished off for this model. Haven't done that on the other one, but I have done the scales, so I've made it hard for myself twice. Good going, Jules. Right, okay, I think I can turn the fan off now as well, because it's starting to cool down a bit. Ooh, 2 secs. Ooh, right. Ooh, that's a lot of paint on that brush, Jules. What are you doing, mate? What are you doing, cheeky man? Oh, thanks, Doug. I appreciate that, man. I don't know if you saw, but I asked you a question about said troll, asking about the colour of their tongue. What colour would you do with the tongue of a troll? You were kissing it, getting all hot and sweaty, and you just pull back and just had a little look. Look at this little cute troll face. His tongue just lolled out. What colour would it be? Put yourself in that situation for me. Do it for the people, Doug. It is getting there, Doug, like slowly but surely, bit by bit by bit. Moment I'm just painting like a washed, thin down black into the bottom bits of the scales. Just create that slight definition line. And we can work our way up from there. I think that when I've done this stage, this model will really start to feel like it's on the home stretch. Because at the moment, like, I've done a lot of areas on it, but it doesn't feel like it's got that visual pop that doing the scales properly gives it. Because I noticed it immediately when I'd done the blue troll. Say purple. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure if I would go for just like more of a lurid pink, you know? Right, let's just do a tiny bit behind his ears as well. Okay, we're looking alright. I think I've hit most of the big spots there. Oh, I was doing it again, man. Like, there is no way I can win this fight against this the exposure today. Hold on. I do have one last ultimatum, and that is to completely shut out any natural light, as all good painters should. Ignore the outside world and leave it like that. Right, that seems like it's okay. We can live with that. Oh yeah, I probably should have mentioned as well. Duh. I've played Space Marine 2. How did I forget that was like one of the biggest highlights of my bloody week? Yeah, I've played the campaign, and I've played the multiplayer and the side mission known as Operations. And yeah, it is without shadow of a doubt exactly the type of game that I wanted it to be. I played it at Gamescom last year, and it was phenomenal fun then, and they have only improved on it now. I will say, in like the to be objective about the game and not just be like a GW fanboy, which I definitely am, there was like a few performance issues that I had with it. Like, if you do not have a high-end PC, you're probably going to struggle a fair amount. And I can't say anything for what it's going to be like in terms of optimization for consoles. But what I found with my experience was I got a bit of slowdown and stutter sometimes, but that's to be expected from a beta branch that potentially is older than the game is in its current shape now. And I got like a few bits of screen tearing that I had to basically turn VSync on for. But again, that's a small inconvenience for me personally. I don't know if it would be a deal breaker for other people. But I had an absolute blast with that game. I can't say anything about the campaign, but I can say about the operations that I played, and it is so good. I've been playing mainly as the Assault Marine because you get no gun, like you got like your slots are primary weapon, secondary weapon, and then you've got your melee weapon and an ability as well. And the Assault Marine does not get the primary weapon slot, so he just has a pistol of some sort, either a bolt pistol or a plasma pistol, and then a melee weapon, but he gets access to bigger, better weapons, and his ability is a jump pack, which is insane. Hands down my favourite class because he just gets right up into the action. And I can't wait to show you guys what else is coming up soon because, hoo bloody boy, I've had a good time with it. I told Mikey, Lawson, and Beanie because it was like as soon as my NDA went up for it, I was like, lads, I played it, and they were like, is it good? I was like, lads, it's so good, it's so good. Purple, pink, then logged on and saw purple, pink troll, maybe grey, blue. Ooh, grey, blue, says the man. I'll tell you what, we're gonna do this tongue right now. We're gonna break form. I'm gonna put some Thunderhawk blue with some Mechanicus grey. And we'll see what we get, mate. We'll see what we get out of that. Grey blue, says the man. Pixie Wolf, no worries. You take it easy. Big love, big love, big love. Grey blue. Yes. Oh, yes. Right, let's see what this looks like. I'm going to have to take him away from the camera here just because I need to get up close and personal with this boy. Right, where's his tongue actually start in this model? Oh god, it's like threading the bloody needle, this bit. I probably should have painted his tongue first. You know what, Doug? That actually does look quite good with that. Don't know if you can. I don't know if you can actually see it. Ooh. Don't think that the light is doing it any favors there, but still, I'm just happy that I managed to hit that without destroying his teeth. So I'll take that as a win. I'll take that as a win. Bloody love Alien, nerdy. It's such a good film. Aliens is my personal favourite, though. And need we say how good Alien Isolation is? Great game. Great game. Okay, right, so I'm now going to start going over to the scales. And we're using Screamer Pink. I'm going to thin it right down. And I'm just going to start the painstaking process of going over every single scale and adding a nice little chunky highlight to it. Which is going to take forever and a day. But it will look bloody great when it's done. Promise you that. Oh, it's that level where, because my slight colour blindness with reds and blues kicks in pretty much right here, where I can't actually tell if the pink, because it's so close to the color I'm painting over. Basically just like, yeah, that hopefully looks okay. The blend is alright. Again, it will really start to pop when I add in the next highlight. Oh yeah, this is gonna look good. You just can tell. Again, like I say, once this is on, I will feel like this model has started to advance into its final form. You can all start getting ready for the end game. I'm really looking forward to picking up the final ones, Doug. Can you talk about the next commission that you're working on? You're still here? Because he's posted a picture of Chaos Dwarfs in our little, like, I was going to call it the Mordheim chat, but it's not the Mordheim chat anymore, it's the Inquisitor chat. And I was just like, holy hell. Is Doug doing Chaos Dwarfs? If so, where did they come from? How did you get them? Octavia, that's brilliant. I love that. It's a genuinely terrifying game. And its use of binaural audio to inform the player where it is with sound alone is just lovely. I remember back when I was living with this guy called Gareth who was studying audio technology at university. He came in and he was like, have you heard about this game? At the time I hadn't. This is pretty much... Is this just when I would have started working for What Culture maybe? And he showed it to me and I was like, this is crazy. Like, the tech behind it's insane. And he was like, yeah, like, people are going to play this and have no idea how complicated it is to make it do what it's doing. And I was like, oh man. And he and I are both big Alien fans. So the fact that it had all of the same sort of font and text and style of the old computer graphics, all of the PCs and stuff that they log on to with their terminals, I was like, this is such a love letter to that film series. Right, okay, let's take a look. It make a little bit of difference, this. Small bit of difference, that's all we're asking for. It will really start to come on its own when we put in the next layer. It feels so weird that I can't even remember like doing half of the layers on this. Like, I can't remember painting the skin, like the original bottom layer of skin for the troll. I'm just like, how did I even get here? Glad that it is bloody painted though, because just thinking, with the amount of time that I've got before I fly out to Gamescom, with the amount of other bits and bobs I've got going on as well, it's like, I kind of need this to be done soon. Like, I've really enjoyed the painting process. At the same time, I'm just like, yeah. I do not have much time left for the tournament. Tournament of Power. So I would say, is there anything on this side? Yes. Trying to hit his shoulder pad. Okay, that's sort of like chunky highlight slash relayering of the Screamer Purple. So we probably can now start mixing in some Pink Horror into that. Bring it up a bit more. So I'll do 50-50 of Pink Horror and Screamer Pink. Get that nice middle ground going. Right, so this, we're just going to go closer to the tip of these spikes. Drag it about 50% of the way. Just try and catch the sort of main areas of it. Yeah, and it can be a bit messy on this aspect of it, because we can tidy it up later, but already I can see that just adding in these lighter bits is just putting in a huge sense of depth to what we've done before. Okay, let's try that guy. It's looking okay now. How are we gonna get this guy? I think that this part of the highlighting process, when you're putting on the chunky highlights, is the bit where I'm the most nervous, because it's just like you're not at that stage where you can relax and think, okay, cool, I can see the process like coming in. It's like you just gotta really trust at this point. But I think that that's looking okay. And then we can add in the Pink Horror Pure. Then we can make it even lighter. And then we're just getting crazy at that point. It's getting silly now. Everywhere I look, there's just more and more surfaces that need that tiny, tiny highlight. Some of them are just need like an actual, just a blob, a dot. It's oddly satisfying as well, because when I have to paint a large surface area and blend that in, I find that way more stressful than doing like a million tiny pieces. Because I think that when you pull back from it, the eye almost like tricks you. You don't look at every individual imperfection because there's so much going on. You could like just nail about 70% of them and it would still look good. But with like a, say like a cloth robe or something like that, you got to get that perfect looking, because it's one continual piece, so therefore it's got to be one continually decent transition. And that is what I absolutely suck at. Getting there though, bit by bit. So many more scales than you think when you first look at it. Is anyone in the chat painting or making anything at the moment? Any hobby stuff going on? Is that looking nice? Let's use my eye. My eagle eye. There's a few bits I can say I've missed already. That's okay. Don't worry about it. I think that this effect here is probably going to be much more subtle than the blue one, because the blue one, it's got like much more, I think that maybe it's much more pronounced, like the colour change going up through. Okay, just gonna get these other sides. Clip the armor. Think about doing like super thin layers as well. You don't immediately see it until you've done maybe the second or third pass at it. Then you're like, ah, okay, the colour is actually starting to come through now. Plus, I'm glad to be doing these trolls because I also run a Black Orc team, which can use trolls as well. And I think there's like the Underworld denizens also use trolls, so there's still potential to use these guys even if the, well, I say if, when the Goblin team sucks and then dies. The worst ranked team in Blood Bowl pretty much outside of the Snotlings. Of course, somebody who's going to the tournament is also bringing the Snotlings, so I think that he and I are going to be playing for last place, which I'm strangely looking forward to. I feel like Battle of the Biggest Losers is going to be a hotly contested one. Right, I think that's the second layer done. Now we can go for pure pink horror. Oh, what's this? Working on some digital colouring for some inked art. Ooh, that sounds cool. Have you got anything that you can share with us, or is it like a commission so you can't show it off? And is that Lawson? It is! So this ends some kind of debased nonsense. Gah, gah. I know, mate. I know. Getting all down and sweaty. I'm nearing the end. Nearing the end of these trolls, man. Just saying to the guys, I've got to do little things like the little strap on his glove. We're working on his the pink one's scales on the back now. We're at the stage where it's going to start really, well, so really, hopefully start popping with colour a bit more. And then that'll make me feel good. It's such a large part of the model that I feel like once it's done, it's going to look like it will pull focus quite quickly to that area. Ooh, too thick. Let's water this down. Come on, man. I've taught you nothing. How you getting on, Lawson? You enjoying your iced tea Sprite? Does Mikey even have a name for whatever that concoction was that you showed in the chat earlier? Okay. It's making a difference. Gradual one. Oh, nice. Oh, that'll be fun, Murphy. That'll be a good laugh. Have you got any designs in mind that you're doing? Come on. This is the nice stage now because you see the highlights starting to complement each other and pull areas. Don't get me wrong, this troll will not win any Golden Demon Awards, but he is best that I can do. I've worked hard on him, so I'm happy with how it's coming out. And like I said, that is, at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters with painting, or any hobby or pursuit. You are happy with the results that you're making, or achieving. That is grand. I feel I probably need to darken down some of these areas. Maybe I've gone a bit too spicy with the highlight. Or not spicy enough. Maybe it'll come together in the final highlight. Are you painting anything, Lawson, at the moment? You got anything on the hobby table? Sorry, game, I'm just trying to dial in and focus on this bit. Yeah, we're starting to see it. It's starting to come together. Like I said, I don't think it's as impactful as the blue one. And again, there is always that final highlight, which, as you can tell, is the eye catcher. I remember seeing, like, what's this? Oh, I missed this bit here. Plan on working on another rug soon. Yeah. How are you going to base him? Well, that's the question I need to ask you, Doug, off camera. Figure out how you've done yours. A big Kiss fan. So, as a late Father's Day present, early birthday gift. Oh, that's really nice of you. Oh, that's awesome. That sounds really fun to work on as well. Another major thing that I'm looking forward to after Gamescom is done and dusted is that I'll actually be able to start getting bit more proactive on the Discord again, just because I have let it sit in terms of just I haven't been able to spend much time doing anything other than planning and work stuff. So I've like had Discord effectively turned off, because it's just like, as much as I want to interact and get stuff set up, it's just like I've got to focus and I get so easily distracted. Yes, we get in there, so I can start seeing it now. Hey, Louis, how's it going? Good to see you, my friend. I saw that you donated to the charity event as well. Thank you very much for doing that. For people who might not be in the know, the 11 Let's Dice boys are all going to be meeting up in Lincoln at the beginning of September to take part in the 40 Hours of 40k charity that's being run by our friend Matt Paints, or at least he's a key component of it. And all of the money raised is going to be going to Calm, the campaign against living miserably. And it's going to be great not only to have the boys there and actually see them, because I don't get to see them as often as I would like. We're going to be playing a special custom Warhammer game based off of the Lair of the Beast box set, with some custom rules, some custom models, and potentially even a custom board, but we will see how that comes out. And all the money that's being raised throughout the stream, because it's going to be a 40-hour live stream, all things 40k. All the money raised is going to be going to Calm, which is fantastic. I've heard as well that some of the other boys in the painting group, because it's not just us that's painting up the models for this, there's some really, really talented painters as well that we've managed to rope in. They're making their own like games that they're going to play on stream as well, and one of them is a who's going to win, Primarchs or Dreadnoughts, and I think that at last count it was something like, can 12 Dreadnoughts take down Primarch? So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that is going to shake out. And also, if you needed another reason to help out this charity, then any donation for every £5 you donate, you get 1 entry into the raffle, and the top prize of it is to win an entire fully painted World Eaters army. And yeah, I would say that's a pretty good incentive alongside just being a kind person and helping others out. Especially seeing as all the models being painted by people who are taking part in the game that we're playing. So there's a lot of people who have submitted for that. Beanie's done some, Doug's done some, Matt's done some as well, and a load of other amazing painters have contributed to it as well. And I have seen some of the photos, and it is insane skill on show. It's just like, oh my god, I should never pick up a paintbrush again. You guys are a bit too good. I have royally botched that transition there, so I'm just going to quickly fix that. Figuring out the best way to approach this. And just like that, back to normal. Right, okay, so that is starting to actually look like we're getting a bit more depth to everything there, which is nice. Which now must mean it is time to go for our maybe final, but likely to be second to last one. So we're going to take the pink horror again, and we're just going to add a bit of white into it. And the white is the one colour that I didn't put on the table. What am I thinking? What type of Joker bone smoker am I? I'll be right back. Luckily, it was right behind me. Happy to donate. And that would be amazing. Yeah, your two armies would basically just be like, hi, right, okay, so you're that type of opponent. Well, I shall take the combat army. Ah, you're that type of opponent. I will take the shooting army. Good day to you, sir. Good day, good day. Yeah, that would be amazing as well if you were like, oh, I'm just getting new into painting, and then you end up with a fully painted, amazing, like, commission level army. Okay, right, these are the sporadic higher than highlights, these ones. So we're just basically looking to find the tip of the area and just get just a tiny bit of the, like a dot or a blob or just a very thin line. As I probably could have, if I wanted to, have done another stage to this where I've gone, instead of it being 1-to-1, like I've gone with, I could have maybe done it 2-to-1 and 1-to-1 to finish. You know what I feel? I'm confident that this looks good. And it is already making that real pop at the end that we needed. The World Eaters are the ones that have basically dedicated themselves to corn, and they are just absolute fury machines. If I think that in the Horus Heresy books, when they fell, they had these things called the Butcher's Nails implanted in them, which means that they feel pain all the time, like excruciating, debilitating pain, unless they are killing. And so it drives them into a fury, and why their models and their rules reflect this sort of overwhelming bloodlust that has to be satiated for them to find even a moment of peace. And I think that over the years, it's basically become a situation now where even the endless, continuous killing doesn't even provide them like a moment's break from it. But because they're so dutiful, they continue to fight on. And they are horrible people. They would have no qualms about killing anyone that stood in their way. And in the case of Khan the Betrayer, not even if you're on his bloody team. Because you don't get called the Betrayer if you ain't in the mood for the game of betraying people. It's like finding out that you're working down crufts with Jimmy the Dog Kisser. You're like, something not right about you, mate. Something not right about you. You stop smooching those hounds, mate. Just a few little dots onto these. Because it's such a light pink, it almost looks like it's white. When it dries, it's gonna just add that lovely final touch to these. Right, we are 100%. Starting to see the progress now. Yes. Okay, right, so now side by side, you can see that that has made a huge difference. Just gives that real depth to him. Still got a few more scales to do, and I'll probably go over and tidy them all up just before I finalize this. I'll do that off camera so I can get... Basically, I need to like stick the bloody model right up my face because it's the only way that I can see the finer, tiny details on these. I realise that when I'm painting this, it's like half out of shot for you guys. Trust me, that's the best of both worlds. I need to be able to see the model. Otherwise it's going to come across as like a right rubbish. So many tiny dots. Right, okay, I think that side is done. Looks good to me. So what we got to do now is do the final highlights on this side. It's just a bloody pain because of the way that the model is angled. But like approach it like at a weird angle here. We've got to come in from behind it to just do these final lines. I'm going to leave that bit there. Okay, so the scales are, in my opinion, this last dab, maybe one up there. Can I do any more on this? Should I do any more? There's always the other question. Should you do any more lines? Because you actually start to take away, you overuse the white dot. That's fine. That's fine. It looks good. Oh, Alistair, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. That is his scales done. So now, what do we need to do next? Okay, so I can get rid of the pinks. Oh no, we are not done with the pinks because I need to do his pink tongue on his mate. Right, so we're over to the blue troll now. So he can get out of the hot seat. He's coming in. And then we can do this guy's tongue. So we'll go back to our Screamer Pink. Thank you, Quoth. I really, really appreciate that. Like, it has taken me a long time, and I've had to ask for a ton of advice along the way. And basically, Doug has just coached me in between these streams. So I phone him or text him like in tears that it hasn't come out the way that I needed it to. But I do feel like I've learned a lot from doing it, including like a lot of patience. Like, I feel like the next model I want to paint, I mean, I can't say that I'll have the enthusiasm to do this, like, you know, times 10 for a like a squad of orcs. But it has made me think that I do want to try more with characters. Like, I might pick some of the characters that I've already painted and go back over them and do some more. Just notice as well, he's got some skin patches in the glove that I haven't painted, so let's address that while I'm here. Because again, small, tiny, tiny details that may not matter on a first viewing. I'd be kicking myself if I didn't do them here. But I'm really happy with how the scales have turned out on him now. Yeah, it's added a lot, which is cool. And now we've done his mate's tongue. We can then go up to the next stage. Thank you, Alistair. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. No, Louis, that's not the point. That's not the point. Use the panel liner. That was promised. Panel liner. Which bit's that? Panel liner. Panel liner. Oh, is it like an oil wash that you just dot in and then it goes like it spreads through the cracks, as it were? I've seen people use that to great effect, but I too can't get it to work, and I feel very silly for not being able to. Let's paint his bloody tongue. That probably just needs one more highlight up here. So straight pink horror onto the tongue. There we go. Right, okay, that is looking nice. And then we can probably do what we did before. Just a quick cheeky dot with the pink horror and white mix that we had. The very tops of it there. There we go. Right, his tongue, I don't know if you can actually even see it. Tongy is dongy. Cool. Right, so the tongue's done there. Let's quickly switch over back to the blue-grey tongue. We'll put some Thunderhawk blue onto that now. And then he's probably done with his tongue too. So that is 2 more things ticked off. What will be next is the belts and pouches. And the worst part is, gang, is that I know we're not actually going to finish today, which is annoying. But I'll probably have to finish off the metals by myself because I don't think I can wait another week because, again, I'm off next week. And the week after is the final week before we go to the tournament. So I've just got to basically knuckle down and get it done. But I can leave it in a good enough shape so that you guys can see the kind of end product. I'll then put up like an update video, or I'll probably do like you might have seen that I did a video on the channel a couple of weeks ago with like our views on Inquisitor and the first game that we played with Doug and the gang. I'll probably do the same sort of thing with the Blood Bowl thing and talk about how like we took these to the tournament and this is what we did. I may film a match there, and so you'll be able to see the finalized product on the table, which could be fun. But here's Tongi is Dongi too. Done. Right, okay. Moving on to a quick bit of skin that I basically painted just a minute ago. We're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. Ah, I do have a magnifying glass. I've got the a really nerdy, huge one, and I just can't use it here on the stream because it's like the camera would go through the lens at an angle. I tried looking at what the preview would be like, and it just doesn't look quite right, and would be a bad viewing experience for you guys. Okay, and that's pretty much done for the hand. Cool, right, so that's one problem that would have annoyed me if I'd finished it and then called it done and spotted later. So, we're going to move now over to the belts and straps for this guy. Yes, yes, that's what we're going to do. So we can get rid of the pinks, we can get rid of all of them, we can get rid of that. It is now onto these colours up here. Mournfang Brown, Steel Legion, and Scrag Brown, depending on how I want to do it. I'll use a mixture of these 3 to get it out there. I will quickly do the pink troll first because there's less to do on him, and then he will be done for all belts and pouches. And that is another thing ticked off on him. So what really comes down to after that is just the metals, and then just tidying up of any other things on him. Like his nails, which I'm going to keep black, I feel. But I will just do like a very light wash of Corvus black, and then maybe do some Eshin grey on that too. So with the leathery pouches and straps, what I find is quite a nice thing to do is instead of going along with like a regular highlight, it's just drawing a series of lines or almost like a stippling style poke onto material, or just dabbing the brush on it to create like a weathered leather. I'm going to say that 10 times. Because this most definitely does not need to be perfect, but it will look perfect if you're imperfect about it. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? Octavia, lovely to see you. Big love. Bye. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the just the support and being here when you can. Okay, right, so just gonna dab along there. Do some lines. Make it look like our little goblin boy appears wearing some hand-me-down leathery bits. And thankfully, that's it. That's all I had to do on that one. So, that's the Mornfang Brown layer done. Before it dries, we'll move over to these Steel Legion Drab. And then this, again, much like how we did with the spiny bits on this guy, it will just add a ton of depth real quickly by just dotting around a few extra bits here. You don't have to do that much effort with this. I find, personally, doing leather belts and straps to be one of the easier things to do with a Warhammer model, and I enjoy doing them as well. There you go, piece of piss. Just added it in, gave it a bit of depth. Done. Right, so he now is only on for the metals. Is that right? Let's have a quick look around him. Does he have his nails painted? He has had some of his nails painted. The Arthur Job Jules is in the house again. No, I have missed a spot. Because he's got the string around his glove over here. What I've done is I've just gone and ignored that completely. So we'll follow the same principles. A bit of a chunky monkey highlight on that one. Sort of like a running dotted line around the bottom half of the string. And then we'll switch over to the Steel Legion Drab. Just immediately find a few areas to highlight. So the knot on the top there. Highlight the bit there. That there. Again, you just don't have to be that. The only thing you've got to be careful with is just touching the other parts of the model. Everything else you can kind of just sort of dot around, and it will make do a lot of the work for you. I could do another final highlight of that, but to be honest, I really don't think it needs it. What it does need, though, is just a very quick touch up on that black. I think I've just clipped that bit there, and I've clipped. Perfect. So that is all of the ropes, all of the bits done on that guy, all the belts, all the buckles. Perfect. So he's getting there. He's getting there. Oh, why's the frame rate drop so much? Oh, it's so weird. This just work like a regular camera. So I guess it's like after a certain amount of time, it just goes like, nah, don't want to play ball no more. This is why I can't wait to get rid of this guy. Like he was marketed to me as being a camera that was designed for people who are doing like model painting like this. It takes so long to focus in. The frame rate's not smooth, even though I've set it to force it to go high. So I'm very unlucky with tech, aren't I? Very lucky, unlucky. Oh, Alex, thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate that. Donated in saying, I've decided that's not if, but when I do find a take for the world, I'm giving you Canada as I can. It'll be fun. It would be funny, and I'd really appreciate that. That would be very nice. I'd like to. I've got some friends over in Canada actually, so that would actually work out really, really well. So thanks. Appreciate it, mate. Hope you're well, and thank you for joining the stream, bro. Okay, right, we're on to Mornfang Brown again. That's what we were doing, because we're painting belts, buckles, straps. Let's go to this Mornfang Brown. We have a bit more to do on this guy, because he hasn't had his main belt here across his chest done. Nor has he had the straps down here done, so we're just gonna mosey on through these bits. I don't see this particular one taking too long. So like I say, we go along the top, sort of like a dabbing around. Catching any bit that's raised. And then if we're feeling spicy, which we are, you go over the area that you've just dabbed up with a bit of watered down Mornfang Brown. And if you can, draw, might be easier for me to go this way on the model. Draw lines going to the top or the nearest edge. Doesn't matter if they're chunky or not, because we will come back to it. And in some cases, if the line is too thick, that's actually a good thing. Because inside the line, you could then paint Steel Legion Drab, and it looks like it's really, really worn leather. Yeah, dab around there. Okay, so that's going to create a lot more depth there, so that's fantastic. Looking good, looking good. It's weird, a lot of like areas of model painting I am not confident with. I'm just like, yeah, I've seen this work for this person, I'll give it a try. But with belts and buckles, I'm just like, I know how to make these look good. These are the things I can quickly speed through. It's interesting because when I see how Doug paints, for example, he has been doing this for so long and across so many different models that he has that attitude of like, it's like on autopilot. He just knows how to do it, knows where to, like how much pressure to apply, how to get the best blend out of it, and it always looks absolutely stunning. And I feel like, to a much, much lesser degree, that autopilot nature is how I feel with orc skin, with rusted metals, belts and straps. Thankfully, though, that does actually make up a fair amount of my army, so I can get away with it. Then we just got to do his little... oh, we've got to do his hand strap up here. Didn't do that. That's fine. Bit too heavy with that one. We can get to this bit here. And I think that it's these stages, these sort of final steps, are my favourite of any sort of model painting thing, because it's where they really breathe life into the character. Oh, Alistair, man. Making me blush. I have a long way to go in the grand scheme of what I'd like to paint versus what I can paint, but you're right. I am good for where I want to be. This is it. I'm happy with it. Like, I know in a couple of years' time, I'll look back at these models, maybe a few others in my collection, and be like, cool, I actually put the effort in. I really tried with these. I mean, sometimes, though, I do look at the models that took a fraction of the time here because of my use of slap chop and doing, like, what we call slap chop plus, which is, like, just do 1 or 2 edge highlights after you've done the slap chop method. And I'm just like, oh, god damn it, I could have got like a really nice smooth, got like a really good look off of this in a fraction of the time. You know what, I don't have to do it to this standard or with this intensity all the time, so it becomes a treat when I do. I do find it absolutely mad, though, that there are some people out there who are like, yep, I paint at my, what you would say, like, my gold standard for every model in my army. And then they present like a Gene Stealer cult army where every single model is being customized. Like, there's 200 individual looking troops that will get taken off the board. Don't get me wrong, it is amazing and good for them. But I'm just like, you think that I'm going to paint my grots, the standard that I'm doing for these trolls, or like a character? No, no sir. They will be lucky if they get a tuft on their bases as a sign that I have actually put effort into them. And that is coming from a man who absolutely loves grots. Right, so that's his belt done on that side. He's done his wrist strap, done the goblin. All we've got to do now is go across the back strap. And then the pouches and belts are done. So then it just comes down to the metals. The painstaking highlights. Endless metals. To be fair, there's not that many on these models, but it's my least favourite thing to do on any sort of painting thing, because I can't see the subtle differences between these. Like, I know you probably can see them on the webcam, but for me, seeing the difference between lead belcher and a very fine highlight of iron hand steel is just like, what? Like, I can see it when it comes to this bad boy, because this is like brighter than the sun. But working through that stage is just like, oh god, I hate this. Okay, well, let's just... Okay, I think we've just got to go and do a few very thin lines now to show the cracks in the leather. And that's done. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Alistair. Although I do feel like it's gotten very, like, pseudo-sex jazzy up in here right now. Welcome to 29.9. You're chilling with the egg on a Wednesday afternoon. Pull up a groove. Get fabulous. Right, okay, that is the belts, buckles, straps done. Hell yeah. Okay, right, so we're on to the metals. No! Boo! Boo! I hate doing this part. It just sucks. Highlighting a goblin's shoe. But it's got to be done. It has to be done. But is that all that needs to be done? I do need to paint the nails of this. So what I may do is I might just close out the stream painting the horrible grubby nails of the pink troll, I believe. Where's the pink troll? No, he's definitely got pink on his nail there, so he can probably just... To be fair, it doesn't actually look like there's that much to... Yeah, I'll paint the nail of the pink troll, and then that'll probably close out the stream on this one. And then I will do... Unfortunately, I'll have to do the metals offline. I say that unfortunately in every sense of the word, because I don't want to bloody do them. So the next time that you'll see these two trolls is finished with bases. Ugh. We get there. We're getting there. And they're looking nice as a result. Tell you what I could do, actually. Am I feeling brave? I'm feeling brave, man. I'm going to do it. Okay, so the final bit I'm going to do is actually... I'm going to take the pink troll. I'm going to take some of the Screamer pink that we had before. I'm going to mix it with Cadian flesh tone. We're going to run it along his lips to give the lips a bit more definition and to make them stand out, and possibly the same around his ears. If that sounds like utter madness, it is, my friends. It bloody well is. It's the insanity you've been waiting for. Man paints lips of troll. He's got to go. Big love, mate. Take it easy. We'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. This is always a bit of a risky business now. So I just want to... Again, we're just dabbing along around the lips. Build up. Yeah, that actually looked alright, that was nice. Do the same around his ears as well. He's got such like a strange pose, this troll, that it's weird that you only kind of really need to hit him from one angle. He obscures most of his face at this pose here, so you kind of don't even need to worry about it. You just need to worry about this angle here, effectively, because that's where you can see everything that the model has. And it's probably where I'll be taking the photos from when I want to get some flattering shots of him. Right, now we're going to add in more Cadian flesh tone to the mix. So we've got this lovely kind of peachy looking colour. And we're just going to go around his ears and mouth one more time. And in theory, that should be it. Like, it's a small step that hopefully will add a fair amount of punch. Again, we only need to be liberal with this one because this is just like the end highlight. The reason that we're adding in Cadian flesh tone is because it's got like, obviously the extremities like his ears and his lips. It's like a lot of blood vessels there, isn't there? So you want to give it that sort of more. And you know what? That's actually worked out really well. That's provided, I don't know if you can see that, but on his mouth especially, I wonder if I can actually get him up close enough to show you. Yeah, it's like, man, the light is so hard to show you guys, but it has made a huge difference on that. In fact, I may be sneaky Pete and use a bit of this around the rest of his eye, a cheeky highlight. Again, just used sparingly, brings the whole model up. Yeah, boy. That's exactly what we were looking for there. Maybe just on the bridge of his nose. Yeah, that looks really nice. That's given his face a lot more fun there. Okay, right, so that's his lips done. I've done the lips of the other troll, so he doesn't need to be done. I went a bit more sort of like as a wash rather than individually highlighted, but I think that we can go with two different styles for these trolls. Right, I'm going to paint his fingernails. And then, that's pretty much me done. Gotta go get to cooking. And then, it's another successful stream, another 2 hours on the project. I think we made some good progress there. All of the backscale's done. And it's put me into a really nice position for the final push of just getting the metals done, being able to focus on just one thing across the two models, because they've always been slightly out of sync because of just the really kind of like sporadic way that I've painted them. This will pull them right back in. I can just work on one thing together. I think that keep the toenails black. I mean, I've seen that there are a few people who've painted the toes of trolls brown. Sorry, the toenails. And it looks good, but I don't think it would look good with these because they've gone for like greens. Okay, so now I've just got to go on this down, slide across. His toenails done there. His fingernails up there by the goblin are fine. Just the fingernails by his face now. Underneath there, yep. Right, where's the line on this? This is a weird design line, that. Getting right down into the cuticles just to really cement where the skin ends and the fingernail begins. It does have quite the impact on the model overall. Right then, that's that done. He's back in the game. Right, my friend. So, that was a pretty good session, I'd say. Managed to get the scales done on the back. Managed to do all of the leathers. Managed to do the string around both the gloves. We've managed to paint the fingernails and toenails, and we've done the lips on the red troll. So now all that's left to do is the metals. That's it. Thanks, hero. Oh, how long do the paints take to dry? Well, Doug could probably answer that with the actual like technical specifications. But I would say that they take about 15 minutes to dry. So I think that all that's left is the bloody metals to do. And I ain't doing them on stream. So we're going to take a last look at these guys. This is what they're going to be like. The next time that you'll see them will be in-game or in a special video dedicated to them. The metals and probably the belly skin. You're going to get one more go around. But as they stand, very happy with it. Oh yeah, and I've got to do the weathering on the goblin's armor. I can deal with that another time. But this has been another stream on the Blood Bowl Trolls. The final one, technically, because by the time that you come back next time, I'll have gone to the tournament. Will I have gone to the tournament? I won't have gone to the tournament, so maybe there will be time to do one more stream on them. But I probably will have to get that done as quickly as possible, you know, just to make sure that they're all ready to go. But I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's joined me here today. Really appreciate it. Big thumbs up to you. Literally big thumbs up. I've got to peace out, so take it easy. I'll speak to you soon, and have a great rest of your week. Bye, everyone. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Bye, then.